There was once a girl who lived in the sunlight. She danced barefoot through golden fields, her laughter rising like birdsong into the sky. She had everything: warmth, abundance, beauty, love. Her mother, Demeter, goddess of the harvest, watched over her with pride and devotion. Her name was Kor, which means maiden, and she was pure light. But one day something changed, not because of a storm or a curse, not because of betrayal or tragedy, but because of a whisper that rose not from the wind, but from deep within the earth. It said only 3 words: "Come below." And so she did, because sometimes the most important journeys begin when we step away from what is familiar. Sometimes the soul calls us down, not to fall, but to grow. If you've ever felt lost, broken, or like you were being pulled into the dark without knowing why, this story is for you. This is the story of Persephone. But more than that, it's the story of every woman who has walked through pain, emerged stronger, and learned to shine from within. Because true healing doesn't happen under someone else's light. It happens when you learn to become your own sun. So come with me now as we journey beneath the surface into the underworld of the heart, where transformation begins and where the real magic happens. Chapter 1: The Descent. Kor had never known sorrow. She grew up surrounded by wildflowers, warm winds, and the constant presence of her mother. Together, they planted seeds and harvested dreams. Life was easy, beautiful, and full of song. But Kor was curious. She asked questions no one could answer. What lies beneath the soil? Why do roots grow downward instead of up? What happens when things die? Demeter would smile gently and say, "That's not for you to know yet." But Kor wanted to know. One afternoon, while chasing butterflies alone in a field, she heard it again, that whisper, "Come below." It didn't frighten her, it intrigued her. So she knelt, pressed her hands into the soft earth, and listened. Suddenly, the ground gave way. A chariot rose from the depths, drawn by horses darker than midnight. A man, cloaked in shadows, reached out his hand. "I am Hades," he said, "king of the underworld." Kor hesitated. Then she took it. Chapter 2: The Darkness That Teaches. At first, Kor was afraid. The underworld was cold, quiet, empty. There was no sun, no birds, no flowers, just silence. She missed her mother, missed the warmth, missed the laughter. She cried often, wondered if she'd made a mistake. But Hades never tried to change her. He simply said, "You were not taken, you were called. You're here to learn what cannot be taught above." Kor didn't understand at first, but slowly she began to see. In the quiet, she heard herself. In the stillness, she found clarity. In the darkness, she discovered her own light. For the first time, she wasn't trying to please anyone. She wasn't performing joy or hiding sadness. She was learning how to feel, how to heal, how to be. Chapter 3: the seed. Within Hades showed her the hidden parts of herself, fears she had buried, wounds she had ignored, dreams she had silenced. He didn't mock them, he honored them. You must tend to your inner garden, he said, even if it grows in the dark. Kor began to plant seeds, not in soil, but in her soul. She wrote letters to herself. She sat with her grief. She forgave herself for not being perfect. She stopped waiting for someone else to save her. And then something miraculous happened. She began to bloom, not because the sun shone on her, but because she had learned how to nourish herself from within. She became Persephone, queen of the underworld, no longer just a girl chasing butterflies, now a woman who had faced the dark and not only survived, but thrived. Chapter 4: The Return. Above the earth, Demeter grieved without Kor. The fields turned barren, trees dropped their leaves, and nothing bloomed. Winter came early and stayed too long. The gods saw the world suffering and intervened. They offered Persephone a choice: return to the world above or stay in the underworld forever. She thought carefully. She loved her mother. She missed the sun, but she also loved the wisdom she had gained, the strength she had built, the woman she had become. So she made a new choice. I will return, she said, but I will also return here. And so it was. From that day forward, Persephone divided her time, half the year in the light, bringing spring, growth, and renewal, half the year in the dark, tending to the roots, the silence. Chapter 6: Embracing Your Inner Seasons. We live in a culture that worships productivity. We glorify hustle. We praise those who never slow down. But Persephone reminds us that there are seasons to everything, that spring does not last forever, neither should it. There are times to grow and times to rest, times to speak and times to be silent, times to give and times to receive. You don't have to apologize for needing space. You don't have to explain your cycles. You don't have to rush your healing. You are allowed to go underground, to retreat, to reflect, to reroot. And when you return, you will bring life with you, because you will return wiser, stronger, whole. Chapter 7: Moon Whispers, a Sanctuary for the Soul. If you've ever felt like the world is moving too fast, if you've ever wondered if you're the only one going through this, if you've ever needed a safe place to breathe, to feel, to heal, then welcome. Welcome to Moon Whispers. Here, we honor the sacred rhythm of the feminine soul. We embrace both light and shadow. We celebrate growth and grieving. We believe in healing through stories, rituals, and connection. Every week, we release new content designed to help women like you connect with your intuition, heal old wounds, reclaim your power, awaken your purpose. Learn to trust your inner voice, because you deserve to feel held, not fixed, not perfect, just deeply, beautifully, authentically yourself. If this story touched your heart, if you feel seen, understood, or inspired, please take a moment to subscribe and join the Moon Whispers community. Don't forget to ring the bell so you never miss a new episode. Together, we can walk through the dark and come out glowing, because you are not alone and you never were. Thank you for listening. And remember, like Persephone, you were never meant to stay in the dark forever. But the wisdom you gain there, that stays with you always. Until next time, stay grounded, stay gentle, and keep listening to the whispers of your soul.